Starting today's video with the comment from one of the subscriber and MDCAT aspirant who requested to upload the videos of Balochistan MDCAT 2024 and 2023. So in the first attempt today I am going to make a video on the 2024 Balochistan MDCAT test. Also, I will apologize because in the past I didn't make any video regarding the Balochistan MDCAT, and I will also be careful in the future to make the videos because they have the right to learn more and more. And because I have made all the videos regarding Sindh MDCAT, UHS MDCAT, KMU, and remaining number of universities, but I will keep this thing in mind that equal weightage should be given to the Balochistan also. Thank you. So moving ahead, the Bolan University of Medical and Health Sciences, Quetta, Balochistan, and I have picked the green question book. This is regarding the MDCAT 2024 conducted by the Bolan University of Medical and Health Sciences, Quetta, Balochistan. This question book is also available on the official website of Balochistan University of Health and Sciences. But I have got this from the, as you can see this website here, www.mdcat1.com. So I'm also thankful to this website for providing that question book. Starting with the first question of physics portion. The first question is that the only group of lines occurring in the visible region of hydrogen spectrum is labeled as the Paschen series, Ferns series, Balmer series, and Lyman series. So that is the Balmer series. Option C is the correct one. The next question is the, okay, I just check it here. Okay, actually this question is from chemistry side, but this topic is also in the class 12 physics. This is the last question of the chemistry portion, so we will start our physics portion from this question number 123. Okay, fine. The question is that a 40 kilogram body starting from rest falls through a vertical distance of 125 centimeter to ground. The velocity of the body just before it hits the ground is, the options are given, 250, 250 raised to power 1 by 2 means its square root, 25 and 5 meter per second. So in that case, we have this equation, 2gh is equal to Vf square minus Vi square. Vi is 0 and Vf will become 2gh whole square root. Solving this equation, 2 into 9.8 into height is 125 centimeter, which will be 1.25 meters, and getting its square root, it will become 24.5, and the result will be closer to the option D, which is 5, because 25 square root is 5, so almost it will be equal to 5 meter per second. So the correct option is option D. The next question is that which of the following set of frequencies can have constructive interference? Options are 20 Hz and 21 Hz, 100 Hz and 110 Hz, 1000 Hz and 2000 Hz, none of the given options. So as we know that for constructive interference or destructive interference, anyways, for interference pattern we need to have the same frequencies. So in all of these cases, A, B and C, none of the frequency set is equal to one another. So the correct option will be option D. The next question is that if heat equals to 0.1 joule is provided to the gas contained in a cylinder and it expands through 0.1 meter cube at 1 Newton per meter square, that's the pressure, then its internal energy will be. In that case, using the first law of thermodynamics, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. It can be written as that delta Q minus P delta V is equal to delta U. Okay? And then putting the values for 0.1 joule for delta Q, 0.1 cubic meter for volume change, and 1 Newton per meter square for pressure. So you can see that the difference between these two terms, because these are same terms, this one and this one, so they are equal and the difference will be 0. So delta U will be equal to 0. So there will be no change and the option C will be the correct option. It will remain same. I guess it will be clear. Okay. The next question is, which of the following is not the basic operation of Boolean variables? Yes operation, not operation, and operation, or operation. So actually, technically speaking, there is we have the no or not operation, we have the and operation and an or operation, but we don't have any yes operation in the Boolean expressions. So the 126 question will have the option because they have said that it is which one is not. So the yes operation is not the Boolean operation. Okay, fine. Question number 127. A body of mass m moving in a circle of radius r is executing a uniform circular motion. If the mass of the body is doubled, then the centripetal force acting upon the body is, that will be simply if I just F is equal to m v square by r. So we can see here that F and m have a direct proportionality. So increasing the m, we need centripetal force to be doubled. Okay. So the option C is the correct option. Question number 128. Magnetic field lines set up in the surrounding of current carrying wire will be circular. 128, option A, simple. Let's say this is the current carrying conductor in this direction upward, and these will be the circular lines around it, okay, in this direction. Okay, so the next question is, the direction of induced EMF can be determined by Faraday's law, Lenz's law, galvanometer, Fleming's right hand rule. So in that case, for 129, presently in that case, the Fleming's right hand rule is the correct option because it is determined by the Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, where the Lenz law tells us that it actually the EMF, which is the effect, it will actually oppose the cause which has produced it. So basically, for determination or for determining the induced EMF direction, we need to use the right hand rule, Fleming's right hand rule, while the Lenz law is in accordance with the law of conservation of energy. So the correct option here is option D. Although in the solution provided by the website, they have mentioned the option B, but this is not a right thing. Well, 29, question number 129, the correct option is option D. Okay, the next question is, a person's life was saved in a car accident due to airbag system. During that car accident, airbags expanded in front of head of that person. If that car was not equipped with airbags, then movement of head would be stopped by windshield in much faster time. Airbags saved life because it Causes much greater force for longer time, not right. Causes much greater force for smaller time, not right. Causes much smaller force for longer time, that is right, and causes much smaller force for smaller time, not right. So the time is extended, okay. So in 130 we will have the correct option as option C, okay. So it's actually a multiplication of these two terms, okay. So if we have increased the time factor, so the force will decrease, okay. Okay, now question number 131. When placed in light, which of the following can generate an output voltage across its electrodes? PN diode, light emitting diode, photodiode, all of these. When placed in light, which of the following can generate an output voltage across its electrodes? So that is actually not, but the correct option is photodiode, because the photodiode converts the light into the electrical signals, okay. So the light emitting diode and PN junction diode, light emitting diode actually converts electrical signals or electricity into light. So the correct option is photodiode. Okay. The next question is, Carnot cycle consists of isothermal steps only, adiabatic steps only, both adiabatic and isothermal steps, neither adiabatic. So these are the correct options. Very simple question. 2 adiabatic expansion and 2 adiabatic and 2 isothermal. I mean by isothermal expansion and contraction and adiabatic expansion and contraction. So overall 4 processes. The electric potential at a point in an electric field is the amount of work done to move any amount of charge, a unit positive charge, any amount of charge, a unit negative charge. So by conventional definition, we have the correct option as option B, okay. So unit positive charge, and that will be represented as W by Q, okay. So and that Q is positive charge. In photoelectric effect, electrons are emitted on incidence of light upon certain material surfaces below a certain frequency, beyond a certain wavelength, above a certain frequency, none of the given options. So for 134, we have the correct option as above certain frequency, and normally that minimum frequency, that is actually called as threshold frequency, okay, below which you cannot get any emission of electron. Okay, so 135, a current carrying conductor of length L and current I is lying at an angle of 90 degree to the direction of uniform magnetic field B. Its length L is rotated clockwise through an angle of 90 degree. And current through it is reduced to 2/3, then magnetic force on it becomes. So basically the equation for magnetic force is BIL. As the angle is 90 degree, okay, initially current I and lying at an angle of 90 degree. If its length L is rotated clockwise through an angle of 90 degree, so initially they were making an angle of 90 degree, but now another 90 degree will cause it to have an angle of 180 degree. Okay, 90 plus 90, 180, and sine 180 will be 0, because actually in the first case when we were taking BIL, so the sine 90 was equal to 1, but technically when sine 90 or sine 180 is there, so sine 180 will be equal to 0, and so the force will be 0. Question number 136. Which of the following isotope of the hydrogen is unstable? H1, D2, T3, all are the given options. So in this case, the T3 tritium is the unstable. 137. The potential energy due to gravitational field near the surface of the earth at height h is given by half mg by h, mgh, mg by h and gh by m. So that can be easily very simple thing, and that is very common thing, mgh. Question number 138. Sound waves are not polarized in air because they are longitudinal waves. They are transverse waves. They need media for its propagation. They have shorter wavelength. So they are longitudinal waves. And longitudinal waves cannot show the polarization factor or experiment. Let T is the half-life of a certain radioactive element, and N naught are the number of atoms present in the sample at T is equal to 0 initial. After 3 half-lives, what percent of atoms present at T is equal to 0 will have been decayed? So normally, when we have the 3 half-lives period, so after first half-life, the remaining are 1 by 2. After second half-life, the remaining is 1 by 4. After the third half-life, the remaining is 1 by 8. But what about the decayed? Okay, so for decayed, we will just subtract 1 minus 1 by 8, which will be equal to 7 by 8. Okay, so this is in the fractional form. If you want to explain it like this is the 50%, this is 25%, this is 12.5%. So the 12.5%, if this 12.5% is the, if it is the remaining, so the decayed will be the 87.5%. So the for 139, the correct option will be option C. Okay. Okay. Which of the following statement is absolutely correct? Forces can stop or make objects move faster. Forces can change the direction of movement. 1, 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So in 140 question, the first statement is both forces can stop or make objects move faster. Yes, it is correct. Forces can change the direction of motion. Yeah, that is also correct. So both 1 and 2, both are the correct options. The option C is the correct one. Okay. Question number 141. Let an electron beam is accelerated by an adjustable potential V. If we decrease potential V, wavelength of matter waves associated with electron will decrease, increase, decrease, remain same, sometimes increase and sometimes decrease. So in the question number 141, as we see that the potential is V, and if we decrease the potential, so obviously the energy of the electron will be reduced. So if the energy is reduced, so you may just have this knowledge of wavelength and energy relation equation. So if energy is reduced, the wavelength will increase. Okay. Question number 142. Which of the following force gives rise to ocean tides? Frictional force, gravitational force, Earth's magnetic force, nuclear force. So out of these 3, the gravitational force between the moon and the earth causes the tides. Let an inductor is connected with a battery. If EMF induced in the inductor opposes EMF of battery, then electric current through the circuit is decreasing, increasing, constant and alternating. So what is the question? That let an inductor is connected with a battery. If EMF induced in the inductor opposes EMF of battery, because this is the principle for the induced EMF, then electric current through the circuit is decreasing, increasing, constant and alternating. So for 143, it will be, so this is a behavior of the self-induced EMF in which the increase in the electric current will cause the induced EMF to be generated, and it will actually oppose the induced EMF of the battery. Okay, so the option increasing is the correct option. Find which of the following method can be used to vary induced EMF in an alternating magnetic field, moving the coil in a magnetic field, changing the shape of coil, all of the above. So for 144, for the induced EMF to be varied, alternating magnetic field, okay, coil to vary induced EMF means we need to change the induced EMF magnitude. So moving coil in the magnetic field, changing the shape of the coil, so all of the above are the correct. Resistance is the measure of current, voltage, motion of charges, opposition to the motion of charges. So for 145, the correct option is D. It was a simple one. But I will appreciate that the level of questions in this pattern is far more of standard as compared to the KMU MDCAT. So I appreciate the type of questions they are making. Okay, electrical measuring instrument convert electrical energy into chemical, mechanical, nuclear and thermal. So for 146, we have the mechanical as the voltmeter or emitter, these kind of instruments which are in the course, they convert the electrical energy into mechanical energy. Which of the following believed in absolute time? Newton, Galileo. 1, 2, both 1 and 2, neither one nor 2. So for 147, we have both believed in the absolute value of time, the option C. Okay, 148. When a gas is expanded at constant temperature, then it absorbs heat, releases heat, neither absorbs nor releases heat, none of the given options. So when a gas is expanded at constant temperature, okay, so the temperature is kept constant, isothermal pressure, isothermal process. So if it is expanded, so it has to absorb heat to maintain the temperature constant. Fine. So the expansion will just decrease the temperature, but to maintain the temperature, the heat should be absorbed. So the option A is the correct option. 149. The distance between consecutive crest and trough of water waves is lambda, lambda by 2, lambda by 4, and none of these. So distance between consecutive crest and trough of water wave is. So in that case, if you draw the figure, and what they have asked is that distance between consecutive crest, this is the crest, and this is the trough. Okay, so right, starting from this to this. Okay, so this is the half lambda. So the correct option is this one. While for 1 lambda, we have to take this condition as. But distance between two consecutive crests like this, starting from point A to B. So this is first crest and this is second crest. So this distance will be equal to 1 lambda. So in the present scenario, we are asked about this lambda. So this is lambda by 2. Okay, so the correct option is B. Okay, a stone is dropped from a cliff. The graph position or velocity versus time, which best represents motion when it falls? So very technical question, and in that case, as we know that the G, which is the acceleration, it is constant and uniform. So for uniform acceleration, we must have this kind of graph in which the velocity is changing uniformly, increasing uniformly. So this is the correct option, option C. Okay. The question number 151, the spherical liquid droplet has a diameter of 2 cm and is given a charge of 1 millicoulomb. The potential at the surface of the drop is. So the equation for potential is Q by R. And putting the values 9 into 10 raised to power 9 into the charge is 1 millicoulomb, 1 into 10 raised to power minus 3 coulomb, and R is 2 centimeter is the diameter, so 1 centimeter will be the radius, and if 1 centimeter is the radius, so I will write it as 0.01 in meters. Okay, so this will become 9 into, this is 10 raised to power 9 minus 3, that will be 10 raised to power 6, and this figure will also give you 10 raised to power minus 2, and that will be here in a plus signal because it will come in the numerator. So it will be 9 into 10 raised to power 8. Volts. So this will be so this is the correct option, 9 into 10 raised to power 8, but none of the options are here, so one can check it again, but with me this is the option, 9 into 10 raised to power 8 volts or 900 million volts. Mass number of an electron of an atom represents the number of protons, neutrons, neutrons plus proton, proton plus electron, so that is neutron plus proton. If the rate of change of current IP in the primary coil is increased by 1/2, then the EMF induced in the secondary coil becomes half, double, 2/3 times, 3/2 times. So this will be actually a very good and technical question, as we know from the previous from the induced EMF equation, ES is equal to M del IP by del T. Okay, so ES is actually, or epsilon S is the EMF induced in the secondary coil, and delta IP by delta T is the rate of change of current. So when we are increasing 1/2, so it will be the current will be we can write it as del IP by del T plus half del IP by del T, and the net result will be, this term is common, so 1 plus 1/2, this will become 3/2 del IP by del T. Okay, and in that case it will be the 3/2 times increase in the induced EMF. Okay, so this will be the option D. Question number 154. Which of the following condition must be true for transfer of energy from an object at a temperature T1 to another object at temperature T2? T1 and T2 equal, T1 less than T2, T1 greater than T2, none of these. So in that case, in 154, the option C should be there, because if the T1 has to transfer energy to T2, so the T1 should be greater, must be greater than T2. Okay. The circuit required for change in AC voltage to DC voltage is called as rectifier, amplifier, detector, emitter, and the correct option is rectifier, which converts AC signal into DC signal. According to Bohr's model of an atom, the radius of the nth orbit is proportional to n square. Okay. 156, option C. 157, no current flows between two charged bodies when connected if they have same charge, potential, capacity, and density. So for 157, the option B is correct. If they are having the same potential, the current cannot be flown through it. Question number 158, if a force of 1 Newton acts on a body and displaces it through a distance of 1 meter in the direction of force, then work done will be equal to 1 joule. Okay, 158, option A. 159, compression is that portion of the longitudinal wave where pressure is high, low, zero, all of these. High, 159A. The induced EMF where the rarefaction is the region where the pressure is low. So compression is high pressure, rarefaction is low pressure. The induced EMF in 100 turns coil, if change in flux through the coil is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 4 Weber in 0.02 seconds. So the induced EMF, it's very simple. E is equal to N 100 and phi is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 4 divided by 0.02. I am just writing this equation. E is equal to N del phi by del T. So here it can be simply written as for this 0.02 you can write 100 here and this point will be cancelled. 2 2's will be cancelled. This is 10 raised to power 2, 10 raised to power 2, 10 raised to power 4 and 10 raised to power minus 4. So the option will be 1 volt, 160. Yes, 0.1 volt. Negative with a negative sign because we have this one. So the option is not, the option A is not the correct one. Option B is the correct one. Okay, with a negative sign. Okay, 161, a battery has an EMF of 6 volt and an internal resistance of 0.4 ohm. It is connected to a 2.6 ohm resistor through a switch. When the switch is open, the potential difference across the switch is 0, 6 volt, 2.6 volt, 5.2 volts. So as the switch is connected to this volt, a 6 volt battery, so this will the terminals of the switch will have a potential difference of 6 volt. Option B. Question number 162. A slow neutron will cause fission in 234, 235, 236 and 237. Very simple option 235. Question number 163. Gravitational mass of a body is F by A, Fa, W by G and W into G. So it is actually option C, where we know that W is mg and m can be written as W by G. Question number 164. Which of the following statement is correct? Nuclear radiations with least penetrating power has most ionizing power. Nuclear radiation with most penetrating power has least ionization power. Okay, and 1, 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So 164 option C, because both the statements are correct. When it has a least penetrating power, it means its ionization power is more. And when it has a most penetrating power, ionization power is least. So both the statements are correct. And I like these type of questions. These are very technical and thought-provoking. Okay, a particle is executing simple uniform circular motion in a circle of radius 100 millimeter. If its speed is 10 centimeter, then the angular velocity is omega is equal to V by R. Fine. Okay. So V is 10 centimeter per second. 10 into 10 raised to power minus 2. For centi, I have written 10 raised to power minus 2. And for R, 100 millimeter. For milli, I have written this one. Okay. So now 110 cancel here. And this will become 10 into 10 raised to power minus 3. This will 10 raised to power minus 2. So they will just cancel out one another. And the omega should be 1 radian per second. Okay, but the given options are not. So the 165 will have the correct option as D, because none of the options are correct, because this will give you 1 radian per second. which is not given here. Okay, fine. 166, photoelectrons emission depends upon the intensity of incident light, color of the body, frequency of the incident light, shape of the body. So in that case, in 166, the major thing is the frequency of incident light. Again, it was previously also mentioned, the threshold frequency. If a force of 1 Newton acts upon a body as it moves through a displacement of 0.1 meter at an angle of 60 degree, the direction of force, then the work done will be very simple equation. Can be used Fd cos theta. Force is 1 Newton, displacement is 0.5 meter, and angle is cos 60, which will again give you 0.5. So 0.5 into 0.5, 0.25, and the correct option will be option A, 0.25 joules. Question number 168. A dielectric of a capacitor can be polar, non-polar, 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 or 2, D1. Okay, so 168, both 1 and 2, polar and non-polar, both can be options for a capacitor where the dielectric is used between the two plates. 169, velocity v of an electron revolving around the nucleus is at dash to the radius r of the coil. Acute angle, obtuse angle, right angle, supplementary angle. So velocity v of electron revolving around the nucleus, radius. So if this is the circular motion and this is the tangential velocity direction and that is the radius. So they are at right angle. Okay, so the option C, 169, option C. 170 is now a set of coordinate axes in which the measurements are made is called Cartesian coordinate, spherical coordinate, rectangular coordinate, frame of reference. So for 170, we have the coordinate when measurements are made, they are the frame of reference. Let 5 resistors, each of 10 ohm, are connected in parallel, and the combination is then connected with a battery of 50 volts. The current through each resistor will be. So in that case, one can easily solve. So in that case, if they are connected in parallel, so the equivalent resistance will have this formula, R by N. R is 10, number of resistors are 5. We will get the equivalent resistance as 2 ohm. Finding the equation value for the current, I is equal to V by R. It will give you 25 ampere for the whole circuit. And all the current, all the resistors, as they are of the same magnitude, will draw equal amount of current. So the 25 ampere current will be equally divided upon all. So 5 ampere for each resistor. Ohm's law states that the electric current through a conductor is proportional to the applied voltage provided by. Electric current is constant, resistance is constant, electrical charge is constant, electrical field is constant. So for 172, we have the correct option as resistance is constant. 173 question, a fully charged capacitor with a charge Q and capacitance C is connected across a resistor R in series. Power dissipated across resistor will be 0 after time t0, t is equal to RC, t is equal to 5 RC, and t is equal to infinity. So in that case, for infinity time, its dissipation across resistor will be 0 because it will gradually, although it starts discharging exponentially, but it does not discharge directly to 0 in few time, but it tends to expand very later on. It becomes very slowly like this. I will show it here. So initially it's very fast, but then very slowly it goes on. So in infinite time it will take. Okay, fine. The two current carrying wires are placed near a conducting loop such that the loop is midway between the wires as shown. If I1 and I2 are decreasing at the same rate, induced current in the loop will be. So in that case, for 174, the induced current as both the wires are having the direction of current in upward direction, and they will try to make these the rectangular coil either the current in that opposite in one way. Let's say if I assume that this is the current caused by the I2 and that is the current caused by I1, so they will just oppose to one another, and the net current in that case will be 0 because they are of the same magnitude. Electrons of mass m, charge E, are accelerated through a potential difference V and strike the target. The maximum speed of these electrons is EV by m whole square root EV by m, EV square by m, 2 EV by m. Okay, so these the question number 175, this is the correct option, 2 EV by m. Okay, and it can be simply find out by half mv square is equal to qv. Okay, so you just keep this v square here. For q you write E. This will be 2 EV, V for voltage, and then taking square root you will get this one. So option D. Which of the following is a vector quantity? Electric flux? No. Work done? No. Electric potential energy? No. None of the given options? Yes. Very good attempt. Okay. So this is the overall physics questions. I hope it will help the students of Balochistan and specifically and generally all the students who are appearing in the MDCAT 2025. Please comment regarding the helpful material in the comment section, and also share with your friends for the maximum support. Thank you.